Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Traders Arena. It's another Wednesday. Kind of a boring day, actually, in crypto land. It kind of seems like everybody's quiet. I'm pretty quiet. I got a splitting headache, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not at the top of my game today. And it also kind of seems like there's not tons and tons to talk about, but I hope everybody in the chat's doing well. Good to see you. I don't know. David saying good morning burgers. I was like, what the hell's what about burgers? What's good morning burgers? I did happen to look at burger actually earlier, the future of finance burger, cryptocurrency burger. Which actually I was gonna work some bids on. So I don't know what you're talking about, David. How much delay is actually on YouTube right now? It looks like I'm streaming, but maybe you guys can help me out here today and we can come up with some names to look at. I don't have like tons to talk about. It seems sort of boring. I fell behind on I have been really trying to work on getting my bids working, just hoping for some dip here coming up, and want to make sure I have all my bids working, but I haven't gotten much work done the last couple of days, so I don't have anything brand new that I've maybe a couple things, but I haven't really my little Notion list is looking pretty bare actually for the last couple of days. That just kind of shows you what I've been up to. As far as working bids, I should see some more names here if I was actually doing any hunting. But kind of seems like well, it sort of seems like the dip got bought up a bit, and now we're just still waiting patiently. What chart? Oh, I was on Crypto Bubbles. That's where I was. I suppose today, I don't even know what MNT is. What's MNT? That's up on the day 40%. That's the biggest name. I did notice Bitcoin Cash breaking to a new high today, which I find hilarious. Of course, that was one of our trades from going way back. So I wonder who all's still long. Who's long Bitcoin Cash? Going back to when did we first get long here? This was when I was still on Qcoin and I had to move it. Yeah, I actually didn't sell this second double here. I'm still just bag holding that, so I guess I could go do that if I wanted, but I guess that was back in, let's see, when did I get long here on Bitcoin Cash? Can't remember actually. Looks like I got filled on the breakout here, and then I also got filled on the dip to. Well, if my fibs are drawn right here, I never updated them. That's right, and then I did get filled there. So I'm long off the bottom. What can you say? And it's hilarious because I think I even heard Paul saying this thing's up like, well, it's almost up 5x, or it is up 5x. That's hilarious. So who's long Bitcoin Cash? Anybody in the room here from back in? I mean, I know we talked in the group a lot about it, a lot back here, but I was going to look at the date. When was that? That was June 2023. I feel like that was after Qcoin for me, though. When did I guess I got kicked off Qcoin right around then. Maybe it was a little later. I don't remember now specifically. Funny enough, though, look at that nice bottom, though. Jeez, that's kind of looks a little bit almost not really head and shoulders-y, but nice W here. That weekly W came in, nice retest of it, deep into 88.6. Suppose if I would have had my fibs up here, that'd be 88.6. Well, either way. But funny enough, I was thinking it's kind of funny that today it was actually, I think on the daily chart, you see it's breaking out. Yeah, here. Well, nobody's telling me they're long Bitcoin Cash in the chat, so I don't know. I do see a couple people commenting in there, but I think I'm streaming. If I'm not, I guess I'll just talk to nobody here for a bit, but it looks like I'm streaming. And there usually is. The one thing that sucks about live streaming on YouTube is there's usually like a, I don't know, 10-second delay. Sometimes it's even a little bit longer, which sucks. And I did notice man, it's hilarious in the United States, like internet kind of sucks. It's like the fastest. I even saw that like my internet provider just kind of sneakily reduced my upload speed just by like a little bit, but like I mean, I have the fastest residential internet I can have here, and it's like my upload's only like 35 gigabros per second, or however they measure that. So it'd probably be nicer to have a little bit more, but it's funny how our internet kind of sucks here. Who knows what that's all about? And of course, it's a freaking monopoly. Like, there's not really very many options. I think I have two real options here, and one's suckier. But am I even live here? It looks like I'm live. Hey, Hanya. See Constantine in there. David is talking about burgers. Funny enough, I actually did just eat a burger, so maybe you're reading my mind. I just made my. Oh, cool! Thanks, Mercurio. I just ate some nice burger with an egg and cheese on it. Oh man, no bun, because I'm sort of like not really into eating carbs. A good chunk of my life, I suppose. I'm actually an Instagram fitness influencer on the side. You guys don't know that part about me, but when I'm not talking on YouTube about crypto, I'm actually I'm a diet guru on Instagram. Yeah, right. I do watch a bunch of that dumb shit. I don't know. Of course, I'm a little older. I got to get my act together before I keel over. Spent a good chunk of my life, what would they say, rode hard and put away wet. Now I'm cleaning my act up as an older man. So now I just degenerate, invest in crypto, try to eat well. I don't know. I did hear, I won't name any names, but somebody even suggested, they said the magic words today that Bitcoin Cash could actually be the real Bitcoin. I won't crucify you in public. You know who you are. I don't know about that, but Bitcoin Cash is running at highs, and I suppose this is probably the end of the rally here. Hey, Michael. I mean, if Bitcoin Cash is pumping, and I think Litecoin was pumping recently, that's probably more towards the end of the of this move, I'd say. But although Litecoin still looks like it has tons of uppy in it, Litecoin never really took off. Did put a nice W back here. Well, I suppose that was October. It put in like a more recently, like a nice little breakout here, I guess. Like, yeah, kind of in here, that daily W there. Sort of like right there. And I suppose, did Litecoin double from there? Not quite. I actually haven't gotten a double off Litecoin this cycle, because I did buy that dip right there. That was a nice 61.8 tag. And yeah, right there. I like caught that actual bottom there right at 61.8, and then it didn't quite double here. That was like $65, and it got up to 115. So just kind of shorted me my double here so far on Litecoin. But I suppose the game over. Stefan's coming in with the game over emoji. Paul's in here. So we got Stefan and Paul hanging out. So the other regulars. And not a new person in sight in crypto, it seems like. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it just doesn't seem like there's too many new people. I mean, I know there's people joining the Discord often. Unfortunately, a huge chunk of them are often just scammers, but there are some new people trickling in here and there. But in general, I feel like crypto's just sort of just the old regulars. Is that true? I don't know if I feel like the new people are being are entering too much. I mean, I do follow. I've been like I've been reading the Solana Reddit community or whatever you call that lately, and it's just kind of interesting to see the talk about Solana on Reddit. And there are new people. I mean, there are new people kind of aping into meme coins and stuff, it seems like, but not at like an alarming rate. It's just like sort of like a few people trickle in saying they don't know what they're doing and asking for advice and what memes to buy and stuff. But I don't know if that really constitutes like new people. I mean, I still don't really get people asking me about crypto. Like I haven't had any like friends bring it up with me really. Uh yeah, not really. Not that I can think of. I did start a little my mom my mom is now a crypto enthusiast. uh, so that's kind of fun, but my mom likes the memes. But yeah, I don't really know if there's any like I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there new people coming into crypto? I don't feel like there really is. So I don't know what that means per se. I suppose the good news is that means we're not anywhere near the euphoric top. I mean, I think well on Sunday Paul was breaking out the Pi cycle top a little bit, and you could kind of see how there's a long time between that top signal firing and now. So I don't know. I think everything's still just well, I mean, look at this chart using Litecoin as just using Litecoin here as in itself. I mean, geez, did get nice reload zones and new W's in Litecoin really. So I mean, there was buy opportunity in Litecoin towards the end of end of last year and through September. It looks like it broke out in November and then dipped again against the lows. But point being is that looks like a bottom, right? So we're not in like I mean, this isn't a bull market and it's not a bear market. This is still like sideways accumulation. I mean, there's still like a range high here that truly needs to be taken out before we're trending higher. And so, and like, I mean, even Litecoin, you could argue there's probably even like a weekly LJ here, it looks like. We just talked about trend lines a couple weeks ago in Capital One. And of course, the trend line is a great location tool. I think you could argue here you're a little early buying into trendline resistance, but sure enough, it would have been okay. That's the difference in, so like there's fibs and there's trend lines, two different location tools. In this case, you could say that there's a reload zone here down below reload zones if we were to draw, And so if you're just a fib buyer that didn't focus on trend lines, then you would have just been buying this W, and that's me. I don't know. I use trend lines a little bit, but that's kind of a good example of how trendline buyers would have looked at that as resistance, whereas just regular old reload zone buyers were just maybe buying W's below 88.6, even in this case, it looks like. So those are two different approaches to location, right? Trend lines are really good for, I mean, they're good for this sort of weekly chart stuff for sure. They work on all time frames, but they're especially good for situations where maybe you don't have reload zones and you're trying to find a location, a tradable location in sort of like a, maybe like there's already like a medium term trend or something. You're not really getting reload zone buys. That's a good use of trend lines. And of course, W's on the other side of trend lines, kind of classic TRI setup, which I first knew as RJ, then became LJ. And that's a whole hilarious story around that. And I don't know who RJ. Well, I don't know who actually made the trendline setup, because whereas Brian definitely promoted it and named it, he named it, but I think he named it after an old TRI that was around from before me even. Can't remember that guy's name, but the RJ itself, that's not the TRI guy. That'd be hilarious if Mr. Ron Jeremy himself was a TRI. That'd be awesome. But what was I saying? Oh, trend line setup, reload zones, two different location tools. I was kind of getting at like, trend line setup can really do well in like even potentially like trend continuation type locations where you're looking for maybe like a Collins pump chaser zone type thing, and you use a trend line break W structure on the other side of the trend line in a pump chaser zone to hunt like a trend continuation trade. That'd be like a nice use of trend lines that are outside of like typical reload zones. But nonetheless, it looks like Litecoin, now my point was now there's W's over here on the other side of the trend line. So, I mean, you could say if you were nice and patient here, trend line kept you out of trouble. You missed this trade here, which didn't quite double anyway. I don't think. Yeah, it didn't quite get up high enough. And you'd still have gotten long from the same level, but with a little bit more confirmation here. But anyway, Litecoin has plenty of upside still, but usually this thing has a tendency to rally later in the sort of like maybe like just sort of like the mini pumps inside of like this accumulation phase that we're still kind of in. I mean, yeah, like has crypto taken off for sure? Yeah. But I think like something like this, you'd have to argue is still range bound, right? At the bottom of the range. I mean, this is 78.6 right here. We're like coming up into 78.6 of the cycle range. And so, there's a top of the range here. So I don't think you can say Litecoin's in a bull market, until like that level's taken out, truthfully. So, and I think that's kind of the state of crypto here, even though some stuff's way up higher. I think we're just still getting started. Burgers are American people. Really? That's what you guys think of us in France. Francais. Well, I'll tell you what we think of you guys. I'm just kidding. But that's cool. I'll take it. I'll be a burger. Chris, I'm from like Burgerville. I like live in like ranching world. Lots of cattle where I'm from. Yeah, call me a burger. I'm okay with it. I just ate a burger. Although my rancher family would be mad at me for not having the bun. They'd probably think of me as a city boy. You not eating that bun, city boy. Anyway, if you can tell, I don't particularly have anything brilliant to say today. I'm just maybe cover some things. I thought about maybe doing like a quick tutorial about Solana just because I was, I do have people ask me, and somebody recently had asked me for some tips. I thought one thing I could do is maybe just quickly do that, and then we could maybe cut that out of this video and make a little tutorial video. But I don't know. I feel like most of our community kind of knows that, knows the Solana trading. But maybe it reminded me that I'd started this. God, man, here we go with my ADHD inability to stay on one topic for very long. But I had made this like a week. I wanted to make this like DeFi manual, and I sort of just did this one day and then kind of forgot about it. But maybe I'll pick this up again. This is like this link is public. I can share it I'll throw it in the free room of the of Discord. But I mean, I didn't really get very far. But there's a couple tips in here. Maybe I could, if people want to talk about Solana or just the logistics of trading on Solana a little bit, we could maybe do that. But the goal of this was to like. And maybe some people want to help me. I don't know. I have Manta twice there, but I wanted to like make a manual and include like everything for all the ecosystems and like and have nice links to everything. So because of course, clicking on links, I even have it at the top of my tips here. Don't click the link. That's probably here's lesson number 1 in security, DeFi security. Don't click the link. So I don't know. Maybe you don't trust my document either, but we could have like ideally you want to have your own bookmarks set up, but of course that's a huge one. Be careful what links you're clicking. But I sort of wanted to have this like manual kind of work, and this is by no means complete. I just started it one day and then sort of left it. But maybe I'll work on this some more. Unfortunately, I've just been kind of tied up with the school and stuff mostly, and just don't really have much time to play with this stuff between trying to trade and working on Capio 1 at the moment. And did sort of refine the course a bit this time. Anya or Michael says, I think this is much needed. Yeah, we can. And don't scan QRs from phone, Stefan saying. Yeah, I guess I never do that. But yeah, that could be potentially dangerous things to scan QR codes because, of course, you never know where those are going to be pointing to you. But maybe we'll... I'm not fully prepared. I mean, I would give the quick run on Solana. Of course, you want to have a Phantom wallet. Like, if anybody's listening to this that isn't trading on Solana that wants to get trading on Solana, I think I have my Solana write-up basically here. This is... of course, there's multiple explorers. I've been using SoulScan the most, but you want to get... get used to using the Solana Explorer, which is basically like all block explorers, but it's a little easier actually than some to navigate. I think definitely Phantom is the preferred wallet. Little purple ghost. Always find your links on Twitter. That's up in the safety tips. It's like the easiest way to before you do anything in DeFi, I think x.com is a pretty good place to start, or CoinGecko also can be like a good place. But the easiest thing to do is just come in here and just look for Phantom. So like, you go to Phantom Wallet and Phantom.app and use this link and you can, just make sure that it's the right. Usually you can tell if it's a fake. It won't have very many followers, or there'll be something about it. But you can, using Twitter to find all your links, like Phantom. Definitely the best wallet for trading on Solana. And then, of course, Radium is the biggest DEX. So, of course, you're going to need a DEX if you want to trade. And then Jupiter is the DEX aggregator, which is, basically just aggregating all the DEXs. So you could argue Jupiter's better, but Radium is definitely better for like brand new things. If you just want to, if you paste a contract address of a brand new issue into Jupiter, it often won't see it. But if you post it into Radium, it will. That was the thing too, is I had like put some of my ref links here, but I don't know. I kind of hate shilling ref links, so I don't know if I'll even keep rolling with this. But I was thinking I would do that, and like BonkBot here is a Telegram bot, which is useful. You pay more in fees, but like, some people like trading Telegram bot. But point being, like between Jupiter, and I don't have Bird Eye in here actually, because I've really gotten to like Bird Eye lately. Which Bird Eye is sort of it's a DEX aggregator and a charting platform. I'll get, like here, we could get the real link for that like pretty easily. Bird Eye. It's just always a good idea I know that's it, Bird Eye SO, but you could see the 63,000 followers. Soulzilla follows him. Hey, look, Gilda Bulls is in there. So Hanya's in there. Gilda Bulls follows him. 24 other people I know. So anyway, point being, birdeye.so. This one I like a lot because this one's good for new tokens too, but it also has a nice charting. You can trade through it as a DEX aggregator, and it just routes the orders through Jupiter, or through I think through Jupiter. So it's just basically a front end for Jupiter, but this one's pretty good for like a brand new coin. Like I did, and going, I did take a dog today from the New York session. So like this was a new one. Just to be clear, if you're gonna try to trade these memes, this is a pretty good example of what can happen. This shirk I aped in here when it was brand new today. Where's my trade? Basically got in like. I bought the top here, but this was only 5 minutes into its existence. This is a 1 minute chart, and was just looking to sell half on a double really quick if I could and see what happens. And of course, this was one that crapped out. So if you want to trade these memes, this one's almost, I'll just forget about this now and maybe it comes back. Sometimes they do. Maybe I'll entertain a new purchase, but probably not. I'm not that, we'll see. Like maybe after it kind of, I don't know, after I can get like a higher time frame W or something. But point being, you can see how I got overrun here. But, on the flip side, yesterday I had, what was that stupid one from yesterday that, Meow. And this one also, like this one, I did the same thing here and it actually went like 700%. And then I sold on 2 doubles, and then my third double was right here and I couldn't get my sell off fast enough, and then it crapped out. But, I made money on it and have some free coins, and then it went to 0. So this is kind of the state of these shit coins. So by all means, keep that in mind if you're going to go trade these. And I think most of the people listening right now are probably familiar with this kind of stuff. But the point I was going to make is that, like, Shirk is a pretty brand new one. So if I took Shirk, well, of course, here's the... another tip in DeFi is we want to always make sure we're using the right contract address. So I like to use Dex Screener for most of my charting. And of course, Dex Screener always has the contract address right here. You can click on it to copy it real easily. Then you could do whatever you want with that link. But point being, like, Bird Eye's pretty quick about, like, usually Bird Eye will find stuff that Jupiter won't. Like, it already knows this Shirk. Does Jupiter know about it? Let's see. Even though it routes the order through Jupiter. Let's see. Do I have Jupiter bookmarked? I probably should. I don't really. That's another thing about me personally. Like I'm on my PC here that I use for like streaming and charting and trading futures and stuff, but I don't do any of my DeFi. I have a laptop sitting here that it's just, to me, it's like a nice clean break for security. So it keeps me from making any mistakes. So all my DeFi stuff's actually on a laptop here that I just enter all my orders in. So I don't actually trade from this computer. And I feel like that just, because I do use this computer to do all kinds of stuff. I'm always streaming. I'm always, clicking random links. So I kind of separate my actual DeFi money from this particular computer. So you might consider doing that. And to be honest, lately I've been doing a lot of trading from my phone, which might be, it's not really a security risk if you're not like always connecting to like, public networks and stuff, but that there can be issues with that. But I've found it so convenient lately. I've been entering my orders like Phantom Wallet on your phone, and then you connect to like any of the dexes through the browser on Phantom Wallet. That's actually a pretty good way to trade if you're not trying to rush into something. If I'm trying to like ape into something, then I might use BonkBot or my laptop. But if you're just like not in a rush here, which I mean, I don't know if I really recommend rushing into any of these things, because of course you could rush into something like that shirk and then it just goes to zero. But point being, do I have Jupiter bookmarked here? I don't actually. Oh, I think I did. I have it here. Yeah, I got it right here. So like, and all I was getting at here is like, does Jupiter see that contract address of a brand new thing? See how it doesn't. So this is, I like, my preference would be to use Jupiter because I like Jupiter the most, I think. But then again, when you're trying to ape into something new, you can see how it doesn't show up here. Ironically, it does show up in Birdeye, but Birdeye uses Jupiter. So, I mean, go figure. But Jupiter is usually a little late for the new issues. But you could see I could connect my wallet here and trade this thing through Birdeye. And I've been doing this on my phone from like through the browser in Phantom Wallet. I just keep it open. I keep a tab open with Birdeye, and then I can pretty quickly. Doesn't take very long to just throw a contract address in Birdeye and then enter my orders. So like I sort of like Jupiter, but Jupiter's for like the stuff that's been more established, and then I like to use Birdeye for newer stuff. And then of course Radium is actually like my least favorite, but it still works it's still, personally I feel like it's slower than Birdeye, so I kind of like using Birdeye instead, but Radium's good. And that's radium.io. So that's pretty much it for Solana trading. I mean, between Jupiter, Radium, and Birdeye, and then now there's that Photon, which I haven't really tried yet. Maybe somebody can, let's find the link for that one, and I'll add it to my little document really quick here. I love how I just like, just go on like a tangent. It must be that one, maybe. I don't know. See, this is where you got to be kind of careful, though. I don't know if this is actually it. I think it is. Hyperspeed V2 on mobile. Yeah, so there's, I don't know. I think I saw Hanya saying she was playing with this the other day. So I don't know how Photon's working. I've yet to trade here, but this is a charting platform, and you can trade through it. But I don't know if they're their own DEX or if they just route through Jupiter or Radium or something. Because same with Dex Screener too. You can, like I like to use Dex Screener for my charting, and I like to save my watch list. I really like how Dex Screener works for watch lists. And then on my phone, I can like basically open the Dex Screener app on my phone, grab the contractor address from there, and then pump it into Birdeye and buy. That's sort of my approach these days for the most part, or Telegram bots or whatever, Jupiter even. You can trade Jupiter and Radium through the Phantom browser as well on your phone. And you could use like a tablet if you have like an extra tablet sitting around that you just connect to your Wi-Fi. That could be a good way to, and that way you're separating from your regular computer. I think that's a pretty good security tip. But then I like to use the alerts I use Dex Screener for alerts on my phone. So I'll enter my cell levels on my phone, so I get an alert to my phone. That way, like when I'm just like out and around, I'll happily trade from bed. I'll trade from from the park, whatever. Now, I'm not really recommending that. I mean, this whole Solana meme thing is a shit show. So be careful, first of all, and hopefully you learn how to trade for real first before you just go and mess around with this stuff. Because, like I said, this one went to zero on me basically. Uh, but I'm sort of bouncing around. But what I was going to say here is I don't do this, but you can connect your wallet to Dex Screener as well, and you can trade through Radium. Basically, you can see trade on Radium here. And that's just routing the orders through Radium if you prefer that. So, but that's pretty much covering all the different Solana trading. I would say either between, I mean, there's Orca, which I never use. There's a couple dexes, and Radium's the biggest one. So it's like you're better off at least if you're going to use straight to a dex, then just use Radium. If you're going to use a dex aggregator, then certainly Jupiter's great. And then I don't know if Dex Screener and Bird Eye qualify as a Dex aggregator because they basically just, you're using Radium if you use Dex Screener to trade through, and then you're using, powered by Jupiter if you use Bird Eye. But you can set limit orders through here too, so that's a nice thing. You can set your limit orders on Bird Eye or on Jupiter directly, and I've had some okay luck with those. I've had a couple issues where my price was hit, but if it's if there's not enough, you kind of need price to trade through your level pretty good to actually fill you. And of course, position size matters. Hanya says Photon is fast, fun, good for the very newest coins. Cool. A bit degenny. Yeah, I'll maybe I'll give Photon a try next. And David's saying check out Dr. Ekberg. Is that well, he's like a keto guy, right? I think I know who that is. The YouTuber. Maybe I'm mixing up a couple people, but I do play around with ketosis a little bit. That's a whole other conversation, but so that was my half-ass Solana tutorial, but point being, Phantom app definitely for Solana, and then all these are the places to trade, and then just some general security tips, I guess, while I'm at it. Of course, don't click the link. Like I said, be careful. Every link you want to build a nice list of bookmarks and use those. Don't ever Google something like don't ever Google Phantom app and then click the top link on Google. You're just asking for trouble to get phished. And then I think this is important here. So like you don't want to use your hardware wallet for trading. So if you have like a Ledger or Trezor, and you maybe have your Solana bags on there that you've bought at the bottom and you're going to hold all the way to Valhalla or whatever, that's not your trading wallet. It's easy enough to just create new wallets. So have like have like a burner wallet you use for trading and just bounce money back and forth, especially on Solana. It's so damn cheap. There's no reason to, you might as well have have a robust security system where you're not trading from your main wallet. So that way, if you have to abandon a wallet, especially if you're using like a Telegram bot, of course, that's another, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but just speed becomes an issue because when you use your hardware wallet, you got to actually sign from your wallet. So it's harder to get a quick fill. But also it's just, you're asking for trouble because then you're connecting to all these websites through your, essentially your cold wallet or your good wallet. So just bounce money back and forth to your trading wallets, and maybe even have more than one if you need one. Or if for whatever reason. Of course, you want to back up your recovery seed and private key. Hopefully, most people know that. But and then I was going to say with Telegram bots, just keep in mind with Telegram bots that your private key is actually being stored on a centralized server. So you don't want to you don't want to have all your funds sitting on your BonkBot wallet because technically they have your private keys stored somewhere. So there is some amount of systemic risk with just having a BonkBot wallet. So I would argue if you're using BonkBot, you want to have like your hardware wallet, then you want to have like an intermediate wallet, and then you want to have your BonkBot wallet. And that intermediate wallet would be like your trading from Jupiter kind of wallet. And then if you want to leave a little bit of money on the BonkBot wallet so you can like ape in and stuff from Telegram, then it's just that, then you just kind of bounce money out in and out of that. And then don't store funds on your BonkBot wallet. That's not a good idea. Because I mean, one of these days, one of those freaking bots will probably something will happen. Um, any low carb meme coins out there? Probably. Oh, that reminds me of an idea I have, but I can't say it out loud because I don't want anybody to steal it. But that reminds me of something that I was gonna bring up with a couple of you that are in this chat one of these days. Um, I don't know if there's a one called Meat. Let's look at Meat. Is that on DeFi or is it uh actually I mean there's Meat on AVAX. Is that AVAX? And I suppose I guess going on with the DeFi conversation, like yeah, now like you can see I pulled up this and I'm looking at an AVAX Meat. I'm looking at INJ network meat, and then Solana. There's multiple meats, and you can see the contract addresses are all different on Solana here: 6W, VR, SSQL, D66G. So if you are new to this, you can't just trust every one of these. If you wanted to buy this AVAX meat, you got to make sure that contract address, like if this is the one you're looking for, this is on Avalanche. You can see up in the right hand corner here, it's on the Avalanche network, and Trader Joe is the DEX. And so on Dex Screener, you can always look up here and you'll see what network it's on and what the best exchange, or at least for this particular pair. But you got to always go down here and look at this contract and make sure that's the one you're actually trying to buy, because there's probably multiple meats. I mean, you got finely aged meats. So I don't know which meat which is the meatiest meat, but this one looks, I haven't been trading on AVAX actually at all. Maybe that's something that I will look into. Definitely think it's worthy of. I know that Paul recently had can't remember what he had. He had some, I don't know, maybe didn't you have a name on AVAX, Paul, recently? Nonetheless, this looks like a double top here right now. Like for whatever reason, they couldn't break that out, but. So yeah, when you're searching for stuff though, like you got to make sure one, it's on the right chain that you're looking for, but also that it's a IKEA meatball. That's funny. So this is on Solana, IKEA meatballs. Yeah, another one that went, yeah, if you want to play the early entry game here, this is a pretty common scenario here. Like, yeah, like the one I aped into today was like summer right here, and I was looking for that move, and of course it just went to nothing. This one, if you would have gotten in there, looks like I don't know how many X's that's 3 or 4X or something, 3X, 4X, and then crapped out. So, I mean, trying to play this game right here is tricky, but you can do it. It's just know that you're going to probably have a lot of losses. So you have to, maybe you take 10 of them and only 2 of them work. And so you got to hope, hopefully you're getting a decent risk to reward on the 2 that win. Cause I could easily see how you could take 2 out of 10 or have 8 out of 10 be losers. Depends on, of course, there's all these other factors too. Like, is the climate right for it? Like lately it's still been pretty active. I don't know if it's as ripping as it was like 3 weeks ago. There was like, these things were ripping way harder. So you got to make sure you're at the right place at the right time for one. I don't know if right now is that time on Solana. I know the base names were sort of taking off over the last week, and some of the Solana ones are, but it's like it's still happening, but it just seems a little weaker at the moment compared to like a couple weeks back when everything was ripping. But anyway, that was my that's not the DeFi tutorial that's worthy of cutting out of this and putting on YouTube though. I think I'll probably need to redo that, but maybe if anybody has any interest in working on that, I mean, that's something we could do for our communities. Just sort of build out this DeFi document, get a nice manual for everything that we've learned, and just a place that somebody could onboard pretty easily. And then I could make some tutorial videos. I know Stefan was talking about making some of those kind of videos too. So maybe we'll do that more going forward, but I would say just start slow and obviously don't put money, only use money you can afford to lose. I mean, the cool thing about Stefano, Solana, the cool thing about Stefano's chain is it's cheap. It's super cheap. So like you can play around with like, you could put a quarter of a Solana on there and trade 1% of that per trade pretty easily. Because you're not getting killed on fees. So just maybe mess around. One thing I keep meaning to do is play around with the where'd it go? Perps up here, yeah. The Jupiter perps. I wanna take some trades on here. I've yet to do that. I have taken some trades on Drift, which is the other. It's Drift is that what it's called? Drift? I always mix it up with Drip, that NFT thing. Yeah, Drift. I think I have that in here. There's or I guess I don't have it in there. Drift, but Drift, it's just a perpetual swap on Solana, and it works pretty okay. It's kind of weird. I've had some limit orders not get filled there though. Oh, here it is. Drift trade. Yeah, Drift. And that reminded me too. There's Rug Check. This is always a good place to check those new names. If you just throw a contract address in here, like we could try Meat here. Take this Meat and see what. Where'd that go? Rug Check. See what it's doing. Yeah, it likes IKEA meatballs. IKEA meatballs. So, I mean, this got rated as good, so I suppose that's better than when it's flashing red at you and saying warning. And you can I'm not the best person at analyzing this exactly, but I mean, usually you'll see that the biggest wallet is Radium, so that's not really like you're kind of looking to see what it's not a good sign when like a handful of wallets have like most of the supply, but you typically would ignore Radium because that's where the liquidity is. So it does have 769 million, I guess, IKEA meatballs. Shows you the supply. You can look at the creator's wallet if you want. This one's already at 6 million market cap, actually. It's not brand new. But typically, you just want to see a decent distribution. It's like this wallet here has 8.33%. That might be who knows who that is. But I don't really go too deep into this. You just want to see if there's locked liquidity. And then also, if this says warning, then that's probably a good sign that you should just stay away from this one. But I'll be honest, I don't really do this that much, but we do it in the New York session a lot when we're looking at stuff. Paul will usually pull it up. And of course, liquidity is an issue here. You typically want to see some locked liquidity. So this thing has $9,000 in locked liquidity, which for wait, this is 5.9K market cap? I thought it was bigger. I must have read it wrong. This one's tiny, so this only has 10K in liquidity, and then it's only got a 6K market cap. So, and there's only been 11 transactions here today, so not a lot of people buying IKEA meatballs. I suppose it is new because that was a 1 minute chart. It's pretty new. This thing's from yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm not saying go buy this, by the way. We only stumbled on this just because we were talking about low carb coins. Low carb. Which, let's see if there's actually a low carb coin. No carb or low carb? Carbify. That's on Ethereum. Carbify. I mean, honestly, something like this, I wouldn't be that interested in buying, to be honest. It looks dead for the moment. Maybe like later on, if it can, again, that's a 30-minute chart. If we like maybe come back to this in a few weeks, and if it's actually put in a base, then maybe, but I don't know. It seems kind of dead. What else can we talk about? I sort of jumped over a lot of stuff. I just kind of started rambling, and like I said, I don't know. I don't feel super great today, to be honest. And I'm just kind of It's not like anything that exciting to talk about. I mean, definitely happy to look at anything people want to take a look at here. There's a couple like sort of decentish Solana coins while I'm like talking about Solana that maybe you might want to consider. Let's see, like where I thought there was. What was I thinking about here? I've already mentioned MXM a lot. I wonder what that one's doing today though, because this is one that I think is more of like an investable Solana coin, not just a meme. Let's check that one out because I know it dipped the other day. This is Mixmob. It's a gaming coin. Yeah, so this one, I don't know, something happened here on Sunday and they dipped it down against the low and it looks like it's probably going to come and eat that tail, but I don't know. Watch this one as it comes down here and maybe W's out. This one's I mean, it's already 10 million market cap. It's a bigger coin, but it's this gaming project. It's in the GameFi space and it seems legit. And going forward, I want to keep watching that one. So that one's like a non-meme investable Solana coin that's coming back down against its opening low. I think waiting for a W is never the worst idea. So maybe just patiently watch this one. It'll probably eat this tail. Did I say wick earlier? I think I did. I meant tail. So there's that one. This Soulcade, I banged a quick double out on this one. I don't know. This is a shitcoin, probably a meme actually. But I did get a double off on that little move, and then it came right back down against the W. So this one might be worth considering. Nice location here against the lows here. I think this one probably falls into meme category though. What does it say here? Solana Arcade. I mean, technically, they claim to have a. So I don't know if this one's really a meme coin. I don't know. Stealth drop launch on Radium. And nonetheless, I got a free bag here, and now it's just back at my entry, basically. Like, I bought that W there, so I don't know. I'd reload on that. Actually, I think I'm gonna write that down to remind myself here. So anyway, Soulcade. And then there's Soul Card, which is Carol's name. Let's look at that one. That was another one that's not a meme. Do I have that one in here? Soul Card. I think it's this one. Soul C. We're way up on this one, though. So, yeah, it hasn't come back down to earth. It's a nice call from Carol. I guess not way up. I mean, I caught the bottom there, and then those are sells. So, is that right? I think I had 37-ish and then banged it. Well, this is the wrong chart anyway, but my chart would look over here. Yeah, I got long off the bottom here on nice call from Carol. I mean, it wasn't really the bottom at the time. Nice reload zone of the, this is a daily chart. So when we were trading it, it was like lower time frame. This one's not really viable, but if this one can come back down to decent levels, maybe consider this one. I would consider decent levels, probably just drawing fibs now here off the lows and just trying to be patient here. It looks like they did dip it into, not quite Mountain Man here, but also doesn't look like it's that strong here at the moment. So maybe hunt this one as it comes down against like that. Nice W in the reload zone. Soul Card. And then Soul Casino. I'm just picking up all the... These are all like the same tickers. This one I'm way up on too, so you can't buy this one. But pretty proud of my call right here. I told everybody to go buy this in this area. It was actually right here. And then this thing took off. This one is also not a meme. This is a casino. I was saying the other day, this is one of the top 5 most used dApps on Solana. So this one going forward too, I think is worth keeping in mind. Of course, it's not really viable right here. That wasn't my worst call. So those are 3 that aren't really memes. Soul C, Soulcade, and SCS is this one. What other decent, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to pick out some non-memes just for fun. And maybe you guys know some other, what's good on Solana, because that's one of the sad things about Solana. I think it's going to have a huge impact on this cycle, but like, it'd be cool to see some like better projects coming online as opposed to just a ton of memes. I mean, there's so many memes every day being created. I did notice it's worth mentioning that WEN is still ripping. I think it made a new high again today. Yeah, so as long as WEN's pushing higher, this, Solana's probably generally happy. And I think with I had talked about an M coming in here. I noticed, last week I think I'd mentioned this M had just barely confirmed, and I was saying, well, maybe if this rolls over here, the memes might have a hard time. But you can see they bounced it right back up to the top of the range. Trend's still pointing higher, and still higher highs and higher lows. So we haven't taken out a new high yet, I should say. So no new high yet. Did put in a nice lower high though, or higher low. Fuck. Higher low. So we did dip into the moving average here and find support, and now we're pushing higher. So I don't know. It looks like the Solana memes are still. I think this one's pretty good proxy for the general state of Solana memes. This is a dog with hat with, and then Bonk. I don't know. I haven't traded Bonk, which is hilarious. I don't know why I haven't, but I mean, nice opportunity back here, but nothing to do now. And it looks, I mean, Bonk has officially rolled over. We're even getting like a bearish retest of this M top here. So I don't know. Maybe Bonk is done for the moment. I mean, this thing went up to like billions, and I mean, it's at a 1.66 billion in market cap right here. So like, how high did this thing go? And of course, Deck Screener, you can always up here. This is another tip for brand new people. I mean, you have price and market cap. You can look at the market cap, but you can also look at everything versus USD or Solana, and you're trading against Solana, and the price is default to USD. So, I mean, this is the market cap. It got up to like 3 billion. Jeez. God, it topped out at 3 billion market cap. But going back to price, you have USD. The Deck Screener defaults to this is the price in USD, and then if you want to, I usually draw my trades on the Sol chart because I'm trading against Sol, and that's one of the coolest things about trading memes. To be honest, is if you're trading against Sol and you're also a Solana bull, like keep in mind Solana might get up to $1,000 or something, or who knows how high it could go. And if you're making profits trading these things against Sol and you can make a nice bag of Sol, that can be a great way to like multiply your account. I mean, like in 2017, I was trading mostly against Bitcoin, and that's what happened. It was like because I was trading against Bitcoin in altcoins and then banging out doubles and all that stuff, then Bitcoin went to 20K. It amplifies your portfolio. So like going forward, I'm basically doing that with Ethereum and Solana here because I'm trading, not doing as much trading but on like Base Chain and Polygon and Arbitrum, doing a little bit of trading there and trying to earn ETH. And then you could do the same thing on Solana. You could do the same thing on AVAX if you want. That's not somewhere I've been trading, and just being that we're heading into a bull, and like, yeah, Solana might dip, but it's pretty likely Solana will go higher down the road. So if you can sort of mine your Solana through trading, and then just let that thing run up into the Pi cycle top and sell your Solana up there, then it's going to be a good way to multiply your account. And the fact of the matter is, it's kind of a pain in the ass to trade. Like I do have some USDC on Solana chain that I will try to buy stuff with because I don't want to spend my Solana, and I wanted to spend that USDC. But man, the transactions fail a lot when you're trying to actually, or at least in my experience, I've found that it's harder to get filled when you're trying to trade with USDC on some of these shitcoins. What else can I look at? And then maybe I'll move on. Look at something else here, and we'll leave the I did buy this crypto Twitter. This is one I've been trading, but like I bought this I posted this one in the New York session 2 days ago, and it took right off, but it didn't produce doubles, and it came right back down to my entry. And I don't know what's going to happen now, but kind of a bummer because I did get long off that W, and they just ran it up like yeah, you could see like not actually, it wasn't that close to my double level, about 50% or so they took it up, but now it's just back below my entry. So I don't know if anybody's interested in crypto Twitter. It's 61K in lock liquidity with 162 market cap, and clearly has like a lot of upside. I did get a double back here on this thing. Yeah, like here in there or something like that. And then I reloaded down here, and not so good so far. So I did, that was, I guess, as far as new things, I did do that one. I reloaded on used car. This is sort of a more established one. I did buy that one. Dal Moody was talking about it on Sunday or Monday, I think. And I like the chart. I don't know. I just, I see, I don't know if it looks like that low got washed. So there was nice W's back here, and I was in there buying that W. Had to go underwater a little bit, but ultimately this was that rally that I was talking about earlier. I mean, when was that? That was from like February 26th up to March 4th. Yeah, like sort of the beginning of the month, things were ripping. And this thing underperformed, to be fair, like compared to like some of the other ones like Popcat and stuff, which I noticed Popcat was actually bouncing up against the highs again today. But point being, this one's a little more established. It's already 6 million market cap, but there's a nice little W that came in here that I also bought, and now it's kind of crapping out, but might consider used car. Nice location. Did I buy any other Solana coins before I move on? I know that we did get some feedback saying we were talking about Solana memes too much, and funny enough, now I'm just talking about Solana memes. Is that like that's like that what's the psychological term for that, where now it's just in my brain, so I just can't stop I got feedback to not talk about Solana memes too much, so now I'm only going to be able to talk about Solana memes for the next month. Hund is that's one of Paul's. It sort of was trying to get it together, and I don't know what's that one doing today. And one of Paul's favorite influencers likes this one or has some interest. Yeah, this one's actually, I mean, I bought some in this little dip here, some a little underwater, but it's just bouncing off 78.6 here. I mean, I like that level in general. I'm not saying it's really breaking out here, but in general, it's just sitting at 78.6. I mean, this one's also a little bit bigger, 7 million market cap. No W though. You know, always wait for W's if you're conservative, and always also recognize this downside risk here. And now there's like some equal lows set up here that probably could easily be eaten. So just, maybe even take like a little nibble at 78.6 and then see if you can get filled down in this area against 88.6 and that candle body low and just that old consolidation. Of course, there's a big fair value gap down here. So if they crap it out, it might have to come all the way back down. So it's just the nature of this stuff. Oh yeah, Phony Bird. Yeah, we'll look at. I did buy some Phony Bird actually recently too. I reloaded on that one, so we'll look at that next. So we'll continue on the Solana memes. I don't even know what this one does, but I know that I think it's Maro or whatever that guy's Muro on Twitter is behind this coin or something, and I think Paul traded this big rally here, and then now I like it. I mean, like I said, I bought some in this red candle here after it broke out that day. So of course I was late to the party. It would have been nicer to buy it over here. But nonetheless, not bad location. Maybe wait for W there. And then Phony Bird's not really doing too much, but I had a really nice trade on Phony Bird already and was happy to go reload. And I love this meme. This one's funny to me. Where is it? I just saw it. Where'd it go? Phony Bird. And Constantine's saying they're supposedly coming out with an NFT. Yeah, they're having some NFT collection. I don't know the details. But I saw it come down against the old W, down against 88.6. It's just sitting there trying to kind of double bottom here. I mean, I don't know if you can call that. That's not a confirmed W here because, the wick is shooting way up here. But I don't know. It's not really doing much. I bought some in this candle here. I guess it was here 2 days ago. Is this a daily chart? Yeah. Somewhere in there. It's just sitting there. I mean, same thing. This thing could easily just fall apart here, but maybe it can W out and get going again. I suppose if we wanted to do like trendline stuff, this would be a good example of trendline resistance that you're buying into right here. I mean, it's kind of a trick here. That's technically the trend line though, like that. So we're actually on the other side of it. But if you were to just draw it like a Twitter trend line or something, this is still valid actually. It's not, I don't particularly love that trend line, but you can see how that would be resistance there into it. So I don't know. But technically, this is the trend line we would teach for. Actually, we just did trend lines too. Well, I was saying that earlier. I mean, the M is actually here, and this high marks the right side of the M. So technically, that's your trend line. You can even see how it was validated. I know Michael's in here, and he's been talking about trend lines. You can see how you got like nice validation as like we came down and found support against it twice. So now you can argue that trend line's pretty valid, I would say. So any W over here would fulfill that reason to take a trade. So I like Phony Bird, but you know, it's a fucking toss up. What's going to happen here? All I can say is birds aren't real. And this meme's hilarious. So, I guess Dex Labs is also, I think that's like a launch pad. I've never used that, but I suppose that must be another Dex on Solana. I've never used Dex Labs. But yeah, maybe I'll get some NFTs for being a holder of this. I don't know how this is working out, but I just think that shit's funny. And I suppose if I felt like bragging, I could go and find the post where I was telling people about this thing back here. So yeah, Phony Bird. Let's leave it with the memes for that. Let's leave it there with the memes. I mean, I've gotten run over on a couple lately. Sassy, I got kind of run over on. Well, I already mentioned that. Meow. Oh, I will mention this Genius. Just not. This isn't a meme, but this is one that I'm watching here, and it's in a reload zone. This is a little treat from the hands of Midas, guys. And on every Thursday in our premium room, Stefan and Butchon have a meeting where they're just uncovering just on-chain gems, things that we're looking for bigger moves down the road. And this thing seems pretty interesting. And it also trades on Polygon and on Ethereum. So if you want to save some fees, you can go buy it on Polygon. And I'm not saying it's bottomed yet. In fact, I think it still is trending down, but you can see it's in a green box now and found some support at 78.6. Now it's kind of like M and out. So I don't think there's any rush, but as this thing comes down and starts bottoming, I want to buy this. So maybe keep that one on your list. And this is Genius. And it also has kind of an interesting, I guess you can't. Their website's not up here, but the project seems pretty interesting. Actually, I'm not going to get into that because I'm not good at. I don't know it well enough to explain it. But if you are a premium member, maybe pop in on Thursday. I suppose that's tomorrow. Sort of around now. I guess it's a little earlier than this show now. And they have a nice spreadsheet of names that are all doing pretty well. This was one from last week, so it's just sort of not getting started yet. I'll leave the memes there. I mean, I could keep going on. I suppose there's some base names that maybe you're interested. Like maybe take a look at the base Coinbase network names because they've been rallying lately. I only have a couple. ESAB is one I've done well on, and then I have a what's the other one? BSHIB. It's not really doing that great. But I'll leave it at that. What else can I say about maybe a regular crypto land we could talk about for a little bit? I mean, the broader market, I just noticed the DXY is still pushing higher. Yeah, stock market's pushing higher. Made a new high last week, and now it's just sort of dojing out for the moment, but still seems like it's all pointing higher. I did notice the Russell is pointing up still and kind of finding some support against the range high here, which is what I want to see. And I have started to see stocks looking better. And there's even some crypto stocks that maybe that'll be fun to look at a couple stocks here really quick that are crypto related, but also small caps. And it does kind of look like the rotation's starting from out of the big caps and into the small cap stocks. And I think there will be trades going forward here. So keep everybody posted on that. And then, also, crypto stocks, I think, are going to be some killer trades too. And I'll show you a couple that are buyable in a minute here. But before that, I'll just mention Bitcoin's still just fighting the all-time highs. I think most of our group's short off the short reload zone here, which isn't a huge surprise. I talked about on Sunday that a little bit here. Like as Bitcoin popped up against short reload zones here, that was short location. So if you're, patient and we're willing to wait, you could have been taking trades against 78.6 here. And even today, they just like FU'd that highs real briefly and dumped it. So that was a nice short FU off of the old high. And then now kind of ruins the M that came in because technically this right side of the M is a little higher, but nonetheless, there's an M there now with the little FU right off of, basically off of 78.6. So we'll see what happens here, but kind of, I think it wouldn't hurt for, it's interesting that that's the all-time high right here. And that's 61.8 of this range now. So not quite 50% level, but it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see Bitcoin just sort of oscillate around here for a little while, right? I mean, who knows? Like just kind of doing that into the halving. We'll see. But until we take out like this low, I don't think you can argue the trend has changed. I mean, if we lose this low, we'll have a big M here. That's not yet, so there's nothing to say yet. But I mean, shorts from here down into the bottom of the range seem pretty likely. A little late to be shorting right here, though. And then Ethereum. What's Ethereum doing? I haven't even looked at Ethereum today, but I mean, Ethereum got rejected at 78.6, and it's just kind of, wait, that's now I'm just making new lines everywhere. Ethereum rejected at 78.6. Pretty deep dip here that got bought up, and now it's running out of gas so far this week. We'll see how it goes. And I think the same thing applies here with Bitcoin. It's like a little lagging, but if you're going to short Ethereum, I don't see any problem with doing that exact same thing here and drawing short reload zones, just off the highs here. Did we actually get a Mountain Man tag? Almost. So yeah, basically hit Mountain Man and rejected, but might see some traffic up in the short reload zone. And I definitely think if price gets up here, then Ethereum's, if you're short inclined, which I'm not like super short inclined here in general, but Ethereum and Bitcoin I'm okay with, lower time frame shorts. So anywhere up there, you can kind of see how OBV, this is the daily chart, but not really divergence, but put in a little M, and now OBV is broken. It's M'ing out and trending down now. So any bounces up into the red box here. Of course, you already have higher time frame short location, and then any move up into the red box here is pretty shortable. And the fact that there's not a real M here makes me think they could easily test that area. So I don't know. I think that's probably the state of these bigger names right now. Like if you're already short Bitcoin, probably just let that short play out, obviously. And then if you're not short Ethereum, you got to wait for red boxes to be tagged if you want to get short. And we'll just see. And maybe Ethereum can, maybe Ethereum does make its way all the way down here, but I could see Ethereum just ranging here now too for a while. I'm just letting things cool off a bit after these big rallies. Have you looked into GMRX gaming? New gaming project? Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, if you guys have some names, like I said, I've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes already, rambling on about this or that. If you guys have any good names to look at, I'd love to see them. We'll start with this GMRX, and then I'll look at a couple stocks crypto stocks that I wanted to show you guys, and then let's see what else we have. I mean, that's it on KuCoin. I think you were saying on we'll just look at it here. Oh, it's brand new on KuCoin. So, well, maybe I'll go find it somewhere else. But when I see this, I don't love like when I see this in general, because kind of, you might draw fibs off the lows of the high here and try to sneak in, off a Mountain Man or something. We could see what happens in the pump chaser zone. If it can start Wing out here, then maybe. But when I see that, I even see like an M threatening to come in here. I also see RSI in bearish divergence already. This is a 30-minute chart because it's brand new. Yeah, nice RSI div, but also not an OBV div, just an M here. But let's see if there's somewhere else with a little bit more history on this, or maybe is it brand new? Bybit has a spot market. Well, it's like the same chart. It kind of looks, well, yeah, it looks like, I don't know what's going on here, but this one, you can still see that M, and also reload zones are way down here against the W. So It launched yesterday. Yeah, so it's pretty brand new, huh? Well, that's a cool one to keep an eye on. They have it on Gate.io as well. And then it looks like it's on PancakeSwap. So that, I mean, it's on Ethereum, so I don't know but it looks like it's on BNB chain too. So I don't know if that's, yeah, gaming. So it's a little cheaper if you want to buy it on BSC, but let's look at it on Gate.io really quick and see what they have. Yeah, it's that same. That's interesting. So that other chart looks a little bit more built out for whatever. I guess it. Oh, this is just missing that big candle. That's all that's going on there, right? Let's see. I think is that. I don't know. I don't know, but either way, something like this. I mean, sure, you could take your shot, but just know you might have to. I could easily see it pumping because it's new, but like, all I really see is an M here, and I don't really love. In fact, if you were to draw fibs off the highs down to here, that's like a dump chaser zone. So just be mindful of that. It might have to roll over here. And OBV looks like it's pointing down. RSI is already in bearish divergence. Yeah, you can see how 38.2, like the dump chaser zone is right here. So let's see what happens into this resistance up here. And I'd prefer to buy it down here somewhere. So this kind of reminds me of like Dimension or something. Dimension's like a little bit more played out now. But I feel like this was that same kind of open, and you can see like sort of what, well, now there's a lot more price action, but if we imagine, you know, back here, like we're sort of in this stage right here, and then it just kind of had to drift for a while. And same thing, just looking to buy, you know, try to buy this thing on a dip down to like at least 350, which I do want to buy this as it comes down. And I think actually going forward, like this seems to be a good one if you want to stake your dimension and get. I think there's even an airdrop I got to go look for that I saw the airdrop guys talking about a couple days ago that DYM stakers are getting. And I don't know, dollar cost average maybe, but hopefully get a dip. And if you want to go stake this on Kepler Wallet, I think there's a lot of airdrops coming down in the future, and I think this is a pretty good name to own. I just don't like the location right here. Before I forget, I just want to point out a couple stocks, those crypto stocks. There's I think I have I bought two. Well, I've already talked about them a little bit. I bought this can just because it's cheap. I think I mentioned this last week. This is sort of it's a Bitcoin miner. It's kind of a Hail Mary bet. I just bought it down against the lows. No W. There's nothing really. I mean, even OBV is like completely crapped out here, but I like this. I was talking about options trades on this, and I am still hunting those, but I also just went and bought the stock a little bit of it just because I want to start just kind of nibbling at this one. And I also nibbled on BTCM, which is a favorite of mine, another Bitcoin miner. This one's basically down at 78.6 now. I mean, I got filled up here, and I have a bid at 78.6, but I also just went and nibbled it here at like 281, I think, a couple days ago. Just kind of sort of averaging into these. This is in, you know, for my retirement account, basically. I'm trading these there. I'm just going to, you can see I have another bid down here at 88.6. I'm just going to keep nibbling on this, and I've already banged some doubles out. But look at the upside on this thing. And I've talked about this one a lot, so it's not brand new or anything. But even just to move back to this this low is what I was sort of thinking about. 40 bucks, 10x up there. So I bought that one, and then which other? Well, those are the two I bought recently, but then there's a couple that I've bought like sort of relatively recently that are still sitting at my levels, basically. Like this SAI is another one. No real W yet, but you know, I bought it back here, and now it's just kind of coming down into that level again. And the crypto stocks are like sort of strangely uppy the last few days. Not so much today, but like CLSK like ripped here. I mean, truly it's been ripping of late in general, but this particular week it just broke to a new high earlier. I guess on Monday that was, because today's only Wednesday. And I find it fascinating how much strength is in something like this. I feel like this is going to be the strong one of this cycle. But man, the strength behind this kind of gives me that's sort of that like boomer strength or whatever. Like if anybody's coming into crypto these days, it's almost like it's like boomers coming into Bitcoin through these ETFs and stuff. When I think of this stock pushing this high or so strong right here, I think of like traditional investors using it as crypto exposure. And it's just the fact that this is so strong seems generally promising for crypto. And in my opinion, I don't know, like it just makes me feel like everything's kind of just going along as planned with like a bull run here for the next year or so. Now, to be fair, it's a little too far, too fast, and like it's sitting at 50% level right now. It would be nice to see a pullback here. I never got to reload here. They never quite dipped it enough right here. But man, that thing looks strong. What's the other one? Oh, SDIG. I bought SAI, SDIG, CAN, and CLSK. Yeah, this SDIG is another shitcoin stock, crypto stock that I looks like I'm a little underwater on now. That I'm still just probably going to take another nibble here against the lows. But I'm just going to kind of average into these and hope for the best. And to be fair, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to these. I don't know anything about these companies per se. I mean, this one's another one that makes like Bitcoin mining equipment. But I mean, I don't really know. I mean, a friend of mine's kind of been doing a little more FA on these, and they've got his thumbs up. But these companies, who knows? I'm just sort of counting on taking my small bets, and if crypto goes on a full-on bull, then I think these will do pretty damn good. And this one, another one, just has insane upside. Now, I'm not really thinking about this, although this is a newer name. You know, it's only since October 21st, so this price action's real. I mean, maybe they've split. Let's see if they've price split. I bet, yeah, they split here. So that's adjusted for split. So I'm not really thinking of getting back to $336, but at the same time, $30 seems pretty likely, like a 10xer. So like, that's just up into this. Let's see, where's $30? You know, somewhere up in here against these highs. Actually, we're just talking about gaps, and of course, there's a lot more gaps in stocks than crypto. But man, look at that gap right there. It's just asking to get filled down the road here, and that's at $30. So your 10x is basically, I mean, it's not quite a 10x because price is actually $388 right here. But yeah, you buy it for $3.50 to $4 maybe, and look to sell at this gap in the crypto bull run at 30. Seems, I don't know. Seems like a pretty good bet. Now, to be fair, there's this gap down here that also could get filled at $21. And there's also just the range highs that have to be dealt with, but you can get it more than a double just back to the range highs. So if you can, you know, that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of nibble in down here, sell half on a double, and then ride the rest to see how far it can go later on. I don't think this one has options. I can't remember, but if it does, I might consider those as well. Oh, and I was thinking of Badger, not Burger earlier. Anyway, those are my crypto stocks. I don't have any others. When David was saying Burger, I was thinking Burger. We can look at Burger too, but I have worked some bids on, well, these are my old bids actually that I still have. Never got filled right there. That's annoying. Guess I don't have my fill on here, but I think that's because I was on Qcoin actually back here. Yeah, it looks like they missed me here. I'm sure this was here at that time. Yeah, I had a 78.6 bid. They didn't want to fill me. Bummer. So anyway, nothing to do with Badger here until we can get pullbacks into reload zones at least. But let's look at Burger. I don't have Burger because just because I don't, but like it's not available. It was available on Qcoin in the past, but now it's not that easily available to me. Is that the right one? That doesn't, I guess that is. It doesn't look like, wow, that one really hasn't done anything. Is that, I feel like that's not the right one. On Binance. Yeah, that's slightly different chart. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, things, I don't know. It's at least doubled here off the lows, but Nothing to do there. I mean, this is the thing about crypto like this. All we can do is be patient, and like this is a perfect example of one that I think the bottom's very likely in down here. So if you're lucky enough to get reload zone buys here, then I'm all for it. I just, do we get a dip down into like 61 cents? I could easily, I mean, it looks like it's even running out of gas here. I could easily see Mountain Man being tagged, but nonetheless, as it comes down in here, I'm all for it. I don't know if I'll buy it specifically because it's not on Coinbase or Kraken, and I don't know. I'll look into that, but in general, I like it. I suppose I could maybe go hunting on. I think I saw it on CoinX. Maybe not. Burger. I mean, it's on PancakeSwap. I guess I could go hunting there. Oh, CoinX, yeah, down here. So I could consider that maybe. But point being, you just got to work your bids and just let that come back down to you, not chase it here. What else can we look at here? It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I'll probably slowly start wrapping this up. But I'm happy to just look at names if anybody has anything. I did get a double on Ghost recently. That was cool. And this is one that I talked a lot about through this little W breakout here. I also got a little quick double on Request Network. Well, that's not my chart. Caught the they only gave me one of my fills here, but I basically caught the bottom on that dip there, and then they bounced it to a quick second car double there. But I didn't get my other. I still have bids. One bid down here at 78.6, and I'll now just probably have to go and readjust my bids, but I'll just be looking for 78.6s in general. I think I said that a lot on Sunday. Basically, anything like this. I mean, look at all the red here. Actually, on all these names are red. They're just not really dipping deep enough yet. But I could pick PYR was one we got doubles on quite a while ago. Same thing applies here. I mean, this is the Coinbase chart. Let's look at it on Binance, but where there's some more history. But anything like this, anything like this, I'm just gonna go and work my bids around 78.6 in general here. Of course, the reload zone's all the way up here, and you just have to decide, are you aggressive and want to hit 61.8? So I'm not really, I'm not against that. In fact, some of the names I've been bidding on, I've been doing that. This one, 61.8, looks a little high to me. But it is just sort of testing the old range highs, and we definitely had a nice consolidation area here that's broken out now into an uptrend. They even sort of gave that nice test there of those highs. Personally, I prefer to look for a dip a little deeper. But point being, anything that looks like this, where the bottom looks into me, I'm happy to just, if I'm lucky enough to get a dip into there. And you can see them. I know we've been sort of waiting for the dip and it hasn't come, but it will probably come. And I think something like this could easily, just in a day, we could wake up tomorrow and see this rip down here. So I definitely want to work some bids on that one. But all of these, here's another one, FIS, same thing, draw my fibs here. And just target the 78.6 area in general. You can see all the W's down here, a little bit below 78.6. So even if you wanted to go stinkier down there, you could, but just around 78.6 seems good. And also same thing, how you could see how one day we could easily just, doesn't necessarily have to happen one day, but you could easily see how over the next few weeks, at least, how things could sort of come back down on something like this. Earn's a super high flyer. Probably got to wait on that one, but same thing applies. Have to just wait now. Something like this, I'm not going to, Mountain Man's way above my original double. I don't know. This one, we'll see what happens with stuff like this, how deep it can truly dip. Nothing to do now. Same with this QI. That was a high flyer. Near's been a super high flyer. So those aren't buyable, I don't think. H-bar. Yeah. Let's look at H-bar on US or Binance. And geez, I have a lot of weird lines on here. It's funny because I just talk about this stuff on streams and shit, and then I end up just with a bunch of nonsense lines that I don't remember where That's a nice trend line there. Going back to trend lines, you can see the M came in, but then the resistance just stayed and stayed, like validating that trend line. And then ultimately, whether this W was on the other side entirely, I'd say not. It was sort of on the other side. But then this W came in here and nice breakout. That's not really a W though. It's got lower, it's close, but those are lower lows there. But H bar, even if I just drug those fibs over, yeah, 78.6 is just down here at that W level, which I really like. So the new reload zone is, whoops, ditch this. I mean, just 78.6 is that breakout level. So I do like, and even that, I mean, hopefully you can imagine how, I don't know, price works its way back down here. And then when it gets there, that's pretty strong support in my opinion. I mean, look at OBV just screaming higher. I mean, RSI is overbought here. So yeah, it would make sense to see it kind of come back down here and maybe price can come all the way back down to like this 6 cents level. Something like here at Mountain Man, I'm not really opposed to that actually as a more aggressive buy to just hit that 61.8. To be fair, you have a lot more downside risk, but if you're just trying to get long and your conviction is bullish, I could see how like hitting that level isn't that bad. I mean, that's 7.5 cents. So it's about like 15 or so percent more than 78.6. But I mean, 7.5 cents up to the highs for a W or double a W. Just coming down and test, and you can see that's the nice wide breakout level now. So like, yeah, basically get a double off on a retest of the highs. And it's funny how they ran it right into that resistance there, and it's kind of running out of gas. And I think the likelihood of something like this being up here down the road are pretty high. I mean, 37 cents is Mountain Man. I don't want to say guaranteed, obviously, but I mean, I can easily see this being down here or up here somewhere down the road. Does that mean you buy it right here? I don't really think that's the best idea, but just let it dip. Have your bids working. What else? STG was a relatively recent purchase, actually. Pretty sure I was in there nibbling too, but I guess I have it. Nonetheless, I know I'm long from right around here. There's like sort of this W. Maybe we can look at this one on Binance too and see a little bit more data. Yeah. Like this one's, as it gets back down against this 62 area, seems okay. I don't love, that's actually OBV bearish divergence coming in, so that's not a great sign, but you can see we have potential bearish divergence here. It doesn't confirm until OBV loses those levels, but maybe something like this, it's even better to just, I mean, that's a pretty wonky looking W to be fair, but it's in a reload zone. But you might even consider just hunting reload zones off of that level and actually hunting down still 78.6, down 78.6 of the whole range and in the reload zone of this new range. And to be fair, OBV is generally promising and pointing up, and this is a W. So even though we have potential divergence, this might just turn around and keep churning higher. So I don't know. There's not really double-digit red on the screen here, but there's definitely some red. Maybe NKN, same kind of thing. Reload zones down here against just against my original levels, really. And even if you went all the way back to this low all the way here, because now we basically have like a nice sideways accumulation phase. Top of the range hasn't been taken out yet. As it comes anywhere down into reload zones here around 9 or 10 cents, yeah, down with that one. Of course, I'm reloading on a lot of these. I got a double here, so I'm just happy to go and reload as it comes back down to near my level. And I could easily see this one coming back down to reload zones. I think FTM was ripping lately, right? Yeah, that one's, well, it has definitely been ripping, but I think even recently, it looks like it kind of crapped out now, but started the week out really strong. I suppose Bitcoin is probably rolling over. Oh yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's still kind of rolling over here on the 4-hour chart. Maybe we get this dip after all. Hopefully we get it. And I'm just kind of going through. These are like most of the names I've gotten doubles on, so I'm just kind of looking through my old names. But see if I can pick out stuff that I haven't rebid on yet. Actually, a lot of this stuff I haven't rebid on. Fucking Ren, I noticed they missed my double. Well, they almost hit it again. Oh my god. They did hit it, but I didn't get. No, they didn't hit it yet. And I know I didn't get a fill there. Fuck. See, that's the problem. I go out and shill stuff on Twitter, but then I don't. I mean, fuck. I have every bit of confidence that I'll be getting my fills. Look at this thing. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you want to buy it here, but even if it breaks out here, it'll probably still retest reload zones. So, I like Ren going forward for sure. It's hilarious. They didn't want to give me a fill yet. Not really seeing, you guys were so chatty earlier. Now nobody's saying anything, but hopefully I've I don't know, shared a couple decent names. I mean, something like this. I really like this. I mean, I talked about it a lot right here. Just saying simply it was just cheap, you know, kind of like that can stock. I was just, this is not even as cheap as that can Bitcoin miner stock, but like, yeah, sometimes when things, like, I'm generally bullish. I think that, you know, there's a pretty good chance we'll head into a nice cycle rally here still. And so like when I see something like this, I mean, it's just down against the lows. I'm just taking that was sort of like Ren. It wasn't like there's a W there or anything to buy. It's just, well, you're getting really, this would be like, you're taking more information risk and you're getting better price risk. You know, you're getting a really discounted rate for buying with almost no information. Like I have no W, I have no reason to think this is bottomed. But if it has, then I'm going to have an excellent entry. Like if this thing's up here down the road, I'm going to look like a fucking genius. Now, of course, if it's down here, I just will never talk on YouTube again. So either way, I win. But that's sort of the idea behind Ren and Zcash and stuff. Like the same thing. It's just, I don't know. Just taking some nibbles down at cheap levels. And you can see what happened. I mean, it took off right after I went and shilled on Twitter and stuff. So we'll see if I get my double. But it reminds me of Zcash too, because the same thing with Zcash and the same thing happened here. I actually put in another bid on Zcash too for a dip against 78.6 now. But you know, I'm this $20 when it was right here. I was just like, well, I'm going to buy Zcash because it's just cheap and it's just down against old cycle lows. And everybody hates Zcash for sure, but I don't know. It's got plenty of upside. And funny enough, after I bought it, I saw somebody saying in the chat one day that they're reading that Zcash is going to be the privacy coin of this cycle, which is hilarious to me. Wasn't it the privacy coin of 2 cycles ago and last cycle? There's a request. I guess that's Mubi. It's funny, the little heart on YouTube is blocking it, but I'm guessing you're talking about Mubi, M-U-B-I. I know Stefan really likes Mubi. I mean, it looks heavy right here. I'm not going to lie, from a weekly chart. I mean, technically you have a 3-bar fractal that confirmed here. That low ticked through. That low, it looks like 94, and that was 95.5. So yeah, technically you have a 3-bar top signal there. And then of course, not a lot of suggestion that this downtrend is now turning into a bounce, you know, an uptrend. So this is technically just a lower high. And it kind of looks heavy. So I'm not in any huge rush here. OBV's pointing down. Look at a daily chart and just... I mean, first and foremost, draw your reload zones off here. And I don't know, maybe there's better price history than this MEXC chart. I don't know. But, I mean, it is at 78.6. So you could argue that 78.6 level is okay for nibbles. I mean, there is a W here that's trying to hold for the moment. This W is still holding, but it just looks kind of heavy to me. RSI didn't get oversold yet here, so there's still downside on RSI. OBV's pointing down. So it's not bad, but just, there's fair value gaps all the way down here. So like I could see it falling apart. And one thing you might do is just like another example of trend lines here. You could use a trend line off of these highs even and just, wait for a W now. You're on the other side of the trend line. Wherever the next W comes in, that seems reasonable. It might be farther down here though. So, there is a W kind of right here that got faked out. And that's a pretty good example of a W not being on the other side of the trend line. It was only half on the other side and then it got rejected quickly. Hasn't really failed yet. It's still technically holding the lows so far, but looks like when I see this, I could just easily see it just kind of falling apart and coming back down against the trend line somewhere. Because look at RSI here, like basically tried to W into the 50 line and got rejected, but it's not even close to over sold yet. So there's still plenty of room for this to grind down. And there's no divergences, I suppose you could argue, well, that's not really divergence. It was trying to W through there, but it just doesn't look ready yet. Maybe there's somewhere better to look at it. Let's see. Not really. Same chart. Excuse me. But I know that one's, I'm pretty sure I've heard Stefan talk about Mubi quite a bit. I think he likes that one. Stefan likes Mubi and Dalmoody likes Booby. He's been... That's like a haiku. Did I just say a haiku? I mean, I can't really fault being interested here isn't the worst. It just looks heavy to me. I don't know. And I do see that area right there as like a magnet. Just, even if you just draw a line from like that low and basically just have like a fair value gap right, well, a little one right there. And then, just another one down here and another one right here. And this is the original W. So somewhere down in this zone is probably where the bottom will come in. I actually think somewhere down there, it'll probably fall apart, end up down in here before it truly bottoms. Yeah, Michael says he appreciates the trend line example. Say, well, there you go. I see another one too that I didn't even draw. I mean, there's the one off the actual top. That one's pretty steep, but you can still see how it was being validated here. Nice test. And then technically that W was the W on the other side of the trend line. It was just sort of tall and hard to frame a trade around, but it did produce something. And technically you'd still be in that trade, I suppose. It's just the risk window on that trade's probably pretty big, but I mean, I guess technically you'd still be, wherever your target was. That's almost a double. So, I mean, I don't know. That's not the worst. And then now if you got a W here, I could see that being fine, but that's just not yet. It hasn't bottomed here yet. And then I suppose you could still get away at that trend line if you wanted, and it's also being kind of validated. Still no W though. What else you guys got? Anybody got anything else? See if I can think of anything. Oh, I was wondering I was gonna look at this tweet. What's going on with this? People are talking about this today. BlackRock just moved into RWA, which I assume is real world assets. And I was going to look these coins up. Somebody posted this in the chat earlier. 5 RWA coins accumulated by BlackRock. So what are they? The suspense is killing me. Of course, they don't just tell you the coins. Can't you just give me a list of the coins? Rio, LNDX. Yeah, let's look at these. LandX, I know that. Rio. Let's look at Rio. So this is what BlackRock's buying, I guess. I'm sure BlackRock's probably buying it on MEXC too. That's where they keep their account. BlackRock pretty much trades on MEXC and what's the word? I'm trying to think of the funniest, worst exchange I could think of, but is this Rio? Whoa, can't buy that. I don't know if I'm looking at the right thing. Rio. Yeah, Gate.io. BlackRock's, they keep their accounts on Gate.io without KYC too. They set up non-KYC accounts. Well, I can't buy that. Clearly, it's pumping today because of BlackRock or something. I don't know, but you can't chase that. Assuming I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, Relio, LNDX, LandX. Whoosh. Yeah, so where were we at? Where were we back here? Or even that, like, nice W back here. I mean, that was great. A little breakout with the retest, couple retests, 3 even. Can't do anything here, though. And something tells me BlackRock wasn't buying here, right? They were buying here. If they were buying this thing. And I suppose these are probably on Ethereum, and I definitely could see them scooping up names on Ethereum. Doesn't seem that outlandish. Where'd my tweet go? LandX trade. Oh, that's... Wait, Polytrade. I think I remember people talking about this one a while back. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Last time I looked at was here and it never dipped. Nice W here with the retest, though. It's probably a really nice weekly W. Oh, yeah, look at that. I mean, that's nice. Gave you a couple weeks to buy. I mean, if anything, just remember, that's all we're really trying to do with this investment stuff is buy these W's like that. I bet you OBV was looking pretty good. RSI is clearly like, you know, in potential divergence through there. And OBV, it's just nice W here. Not really divergence. But none of those are buyable. So maybe all of them are going to look that way. Let's see what else is. That's 3 of them. So then there's Boston. Now I know that one's already high. And RWA, I don't know about that one. So pretty sure Boston isn't buyable. Yeah, I've already gotten a double. There's another Qcoin one I had to move, but yeah, I can't do anything there. So I guess these real world, whatever that news is, I mean, clearly even if that news was just from today, then the pump was a little bit late. But clearly these things are running right now. So whatever real world asset coins you can think of, probably worth looking at, but they might all be a little too late, I suppose. What was the last one? RWA, actually. RWA. This one I've never heard of. It's an Arbitrum. Oh, I don't know if that's the right one. Let's go look at that over here. Well, that's the... And go back to the DeFi conversation. Like, this would be a good example. If you got to be careful, because, like, say you want to buy this RWA, look at there's these. This is the same one, same contract address on Arbitrum. That's it on Ethereum. It's also on BNB, and they might all be the same project. I mean, there's even those are different, but you just got to be careful. Like, what's this? This piece of shit here on SUI has like no liquidity. Like, so you just got to be careful what you're buying when you're messing around in DeFi land. Just it's good to get in the habit of using the contract addresses to guarantee you're looking at the right thing. But that post said this was on Arbitrum, so this is Arbitrum on Uniswap. Can't buy it. Should have been shopping. Nice W's down there, but even there, that's sort of like pump chaser zone kind of trend continuation, looks like. So maybe there was something to do here, but not even a very nice setup. It's kind of messy. So it looks like real world assets aren't buyable, but pumping for, I guess, this BlackRock news. I don't know. Let's find those. Let's find those later on if they dip. What else we got? I usually double check the contract address on CoinGecko just to be sure. Yeah, and you can always go look at CoinGecko and double check. Dex Screener, Dex Tools, you can do it on there. Bird Eye, it's never a bad idea to just go and double check. I suppose does CoinGecko allow you to just, can you just, I've never tried this. Like if I just go to CoinGecko and just dump a contract address into the search bar, what happens? Ah, well, no, that's Gala. That's not what I was. What did I just, where'd my, that was this RWA, so that doesn't work. But point, you can still, I mean, I was just playing around seeing what happened, but yeah, you can always double check, you know, this on Gala, for example, the contract address. And you can always use the blockchain too, like going back to using SoulScan or whatever. I mean, this was an Arbitrum name, but if you just, like on Deck Screener, if you click the Explorers here, you can go right to the actual contract address and, you know, verify it here. Let's see if BlackRock's in the top holders. That'd be funny if it just said BlackRock right here. Maybe one of these is BlackRock's wallet. Who knows? But yeah, point being, always double check your contract address, which actually reminds me of another funny meme because there is a CA on Solana. It's just contract address. This one here, what's it doing today? Because it was kind of like lagging too. Yeah, this one, I did get double off here, and then now I will reload on this one, but it's just not. I'm gonna wait for a W here, but this one's hilarious because it's just, that's the whole meme. It's just contract address. It's funny. They have a bunch of great memes. I don't know. Ridiculous. That one looks like shit though, but maybe if this W's out, I'll take another shot on contract address. Nonetheless, I think I'll probably start winding it down. If anybody has any last requests to sneak in, then I'll happily look at them. Otherwise, I'll just call it quits here in a minute. And hopefully I said something worth listening to. As usual, I'm just kind of, I don't know, just freestyling. Not a lot to get to. It's like not like a pound the table kind of buying season, right? Like hopefully you're buying a few months back and earlier, and then hopefully we get that chance again when things start coming down into good levels. I'll certainly be more excited and a little more on point about stuff, but right now it's just about working stink bids basically. But I will keep just reiterating though that I'm definitely in the territory of, I'm pretty much down with buying 78.6 of any coin right now. Like pretty much, like I think the bottom is in. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I think it's a good chance the bottom's in. So I'm happy to, if I get the opportunity to buy. I mean, this Boston's a kind of a crap example. It's, you know, if you're lucky enough to get dips against reload zones here, I would happily buy that. No problem. And that goes for basically most of the market. And so it'll just be a question of if and when that dip comes, and if you can step up and buy it, I'm going to do my best to step up and buy it. Especially if it's down against the previous W breakouts, which this one's not a good example of, but like Lit, I think is. Like if we look at that on, just to pick one, because I think I remember like something like this. I mean, you can see what happened last time. Came down into reload zones and base. Now it has a little W right there. They already retested it once, so maybe it already happened, but still going forward against that green line, that's probably 78.6 now. Like there's a pretty good chance if you just draw fibs from here to here. You know, and you could argue that this is actually the breakout level, which is 78.6 exactly. But point being, just somewhere around there, around 78.6, if we're lucky enough to get those kind of tests, then yeah, I'm just happy to buy that anywhere in that green box, really. Well, the green box is in the wrong place now. Anywhere in the green box, even if you wanted to hit Mountain Man here, I can't really fault people for that, but just know that that's a little more aggressive. But if you think about it in the bigger picture and just try to stay in context here, I mean, I see something that's interesting here, and I just see a big old W that's breaking out here. So the chances of it doing this and then doing this and then doing this and then doing this and then fucking going, seems pretty good. Whoa, now I'm just drawing lines everywhere. I hate how TradingView does that. It like sticks on the marker tool. But, you know, hopefully you see that's what a bottom looks. That's like what a cyclical bottom looks like, right? And it's not uncommon to see the breakout and then the retest, right? Just like on any time frame. So there's no reason why that won't happen here. And I mean, I could pick out tons of these. I don't know. But the point I was trying to make is anytime I can buy 78.6s, especially against the previous W, it's like a no-brainer for me at this point. Doesn't mean it'll work for sure. It just means that in my experience, it has a tendency to do pretty well. And it's all about timing, right? And timing-wise, if there's going to be a mega bull run, it's going to happen soon, right? Like, I mean, it's maybe already started, but like if it's going to happen, I think it's going to happen like now-ish. Like it's going to be heading into the next year or two. I don't know. I don't anticipate just some sort of brutal sideways for another 2 years. We've already been through that part. Now, of course, just me saying that out loud probably just ruined it for everybody. So sorry about that. So sorry to ruin everybody's bull market. But either way, I'll be back on Sunday to talk with Paul. We'll go through the top market cap coins for the Road to Financial Freedom plan. If you're a premium member, jump in the Stefan's call tomorrow at, I believe that's like at, if this is at 19 UTC, that must be at, is it at 16:30 or something like that? I don't know. Just jump in the chat. I can't remember exactly what time. It's earlier than this one starts by an hour or two. It's like an hour and a half after the New York session ends. And of course, I think Europeans change time zones on Sunday. That doesn't change our crypto show on Sunday. We'll still be at 16 UTC. But if you're in North America like me, then it will change our New York session live stream. So next, I think starting next week or when at the end of the month, the live stream for New York will be an hour earlier for Americans. Because it's been an hour later for the last couple of weeks while Europe hasn't switched time zones yet. And then what else we have? Yeah, that's about, well, no, Paul's live streaming every day. I don't want to forget that. Yeah, every day now at London session. He was making a recorded video, but lately he's been live streaming. Just sort of setting the day's levels. So if you want to watch that show, that's around the London session. Quick half-hour live streamers. I don't know how long they've been actually because I haven't been watching them. I'm usually asleep. But just like a daily plan type video, setting up levels for the day, highlighting some potential THG trades or any other scalping, well, anything from swing to scalping. So that's 5 days a week. So yeah, we're doing a lot of content. And then we're also still just taking registrations for Capula 1. That'll start up here relatively soon. Pretty happy with the way the school is going, to be honest. I think it's doing a good job. So if you're interested in learning how to trade, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can just jump in our Discord, go to cryptotradersarena.com. And even if you just jump in our Discord, and you can use our Road to Financial Freedom spreadsheet if you'd like, and you could even just see the levels that we have for that show where we're just basically working tons of bids on a bunch of altcoins, and you can see exactly where our bids are. And that plan, just like my plan, and well, most of us that are trying to invest in crypto, we're just sort of patiently waiting for the dip. So hopefully the dip comes soon. And if it never comes, hopefully you're already long from hanging out with us for the last year. You know, we never know exactly what's going to happen, but I think we'll probably see another buy opportunity before everything truly. I mean, like I said, the public doesn't seem to be here yet. I don't know. I don't think that part of the market has even started yet. The part where the general public starts piling. I personally don't think that's happened yet. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks to all the regulars for joining and listening to my ranting and raving. Feel free to post any other questions in the chat if you'd like. I'll do my best to answer them, and DM me if you need. And I'll just leave it at that. So thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your evenings or wherever you are in the world, and I'll see everybody in the New York session tomorrow. So take care. Bye-bye.